Hello, Jay Barino here. Welcome back. It's the finale of Warcraft 3 Alternate 4, Spirituality's End. This is not split into its own chapter, which is odd to me. All the other three campaigns... Not all the other three. There were 4 other campaigns, and then it was the 3 plus the prologue. The prologue had the original 5 missions, but then the original first 3 campaigns had an extra mission. And then here, it's not a separate map, so it might be super short. I really don't know what to expect. Let's just get into it. By the time this comes out, I will be on my 10-year anniversary trip, living my best life. So if this video is 3 minutes long, then you can deal with it and I will not care. Okay, Chapter 8, send me in. Hard. It is, it's a separate chapter. Death Throes of the Terrorlord. A few moments later near Ashugan. Oh. That was horrifying.
Set into motion so long ago we made complete. For Lord Sargeras too was one of the narrow. The others chose to embrace this world and its denizens, but he knows that destruction is the only way to rid this world of the hellish monsters that dwell below. By absorbing the powers of this diminished narrow, I will bring this planet into nothingness. Thenceforth shall all feel the wrath of the eternal void, for the hour of judgment is come.
All right.
I just need to give the signal.
Play the drum to signal the final attack on Archimonde. Do not let the timer run out. Once you start the minigame, you need to complete 9 drumming sequences in less than 10 minutes. What is going on here? Beats the drum. Oh, yeah. Hit him with a snare low? Oh! What is this? Starts the drumming minigame. Snare floor. Oh! Ooh! Got him. So, you must attempt to slow Archimonde's ascent to Hyjal Summit by throwing everything you can at him and his elite forces. By doing this, you'll buy Fury in the time he needs. Wait, we did this. This is the same, I think. Implement his mysterious plan. So there's these weird little goblins, which are wisps. Wisp replacements, excuse me. Okay. I see. Okay, it's Simon Says kind of. Because it doesn't keep the same pattern each time. It doesn't keep the same pattern each time, so you can't memorize the first 3 and then add the 4th and then add the 5th. It's like, it's new. It's a different sequence every single time. So, by the time this gets up to 6 or 7, I'm going to struggle. Let's see. Boom, 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 boom. Also, not being able to hit them very quickly also leaves room for my short-term memory to completely evaporate. Okay. Boom. Boom. Upper right. Lower middle. Bottom left. We got 9 minutes. We're halfway through. Focus. Focus. Okay. I got this one. We got this one. We got to go down here. And then top middle. And then, he did it. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. Oh. It's like I feel so good about it until about right now. No. Okay, it keeps the same. It's okay, so these 3 and then middle and then upper left. I can remember those. Maybe. Boom. Boom. No, it's then bottom right, upper right, middle, upper left. Middle right. Bottom left. So here. It's bottom right first, okay? Upper right, upper left, middle, upper left, middle right, bottom left. Boom. Why do I keep... I'm focused on the end ones. Here, bottom right. Upper right, middle, upper left. Middle, bottom left. Okay. Okay, I can handle that. Boom. Boom. I don't know about this one, Chief. It's these three. We got 6.5 minutes. We'll commit this memory by then. That's what I remember. And then I think it's bottom left. And then upper. And then middle. Oh, can I clutch this? I don't remember what it was. Let's go down. Let's go! Brap. Oh, this is going to be tough. There's no way. We just got to start slow here. We got six minutes. And then it's middle right, bottom, upper right. And then I remember that these next three were all connected, so it's this one. I don't think any repeat, so that helps. Oh my god. This is where I totally forget now. Just guess. He's done it? Oh! Oh! Really? The last two I basically completely guessed on. I had forgotten which ones were already used.
We've received your signal. We will maneuver our jetpacks into a collision course with the Archimine. If we cause multiple explosions at the peak of the mountain, we should be able to bring swift death to the accursed aberration. Remember us, Shaman. Remember what was done here today.
Sudden Starcraft. The Archimind.
If not for your help, my light would have been consumed and this whole world along with it, crushed by the grip of this Voidbringer. Rejoice now, for today you have defended our world from one of its greatest threats. My fallen brother is still out there in the depths of the cosmic void, but it will be a long time until he makes his presence here.
I am scared. This experience frightened me.
This Naru will heal in time, as will the entire world. The sacrifices have been made. Just as the Alliance, Scourge and Horde discarded their old hatreds and stood united against a common foe, so did light itself awaken in the darkest hour to banish the shadow forever. As for me, I came back to ensure that there would be a future, to teach the world that it no longer needed guardians. The hope for future generations has always resided in mortal hands. And now that my task is done, I will take my place amongst the legends of the past.
Okay. 8 minutes. Look, it was short. I could have tacked this on to the end of the last one. The last one took me a long time. And look, I've been playing StarCraft 1 again to finish up Halcyon, and then we've been playing this. I really like this campaign, but the one, you know, the previous Chapter 7 was long because I had to try it a few times. And look, I'm gonna be real with you. I sprained my thumb, and part of, like, my lower hand along, like, my thumb down to my wrist is awful. I've got it kind of taped up and wrapped up. Makes it a little harder to play, so I get a little tired faster. Like, I don't want to strain it worse than it already is, so I'm like playing and I'm like, it feels okay, but then after a certain amount of time I'm like, okay. But this mission, Chapter 8, it hit the spot. Only mouse clicks. Kind of, Simon Says. Not quite, but kind of, Simon Says. You love to see it. I had a nice time. I got lucky, I think, in like the last two. And, a neat idea. I was very confused by the whole Chapter 8 inside of Chapter 7 thing, but, you know, if that's going to be the whole chapter, then I completely understand, like, why build a whole other map from scratch when you can just use one that already exists and just kind of toss this part onto it. That makes sense to me. Alternatively, it could just all be Chapter 7, but regardless, this was a nice time. I didn't really comment much on Chapter 7 because I saw that there was some Chapter 8 part that was coming up that I didn't realize. I thought that would have been the end, but this was the end. I think this might have been my favorite alternate campaign in Warcraft 3. I liked all of them. Some I liked more than others. I didn't dislike any of them. I did quite like the Night Elf one, I think. The swapped undead into Night Elf one. This one, I really liked the choices with the army options. Chapter 7 scared me a lot. You know, looking back, that defense mission at the end of the prologue was very, very difficult. And I actually went back and I replayed the prologue just kind of for fun. I downloaded the latest version and I got to that holdout map and I couldn't beat it. Again, on hard difficulty at least. I did not bump it down to normal. I was just kind of curious, you know, like, I wonder how this one's going to be. And I couldn't do it. And then I was like, okay, time to record Spirituality's End. And then I came into Chapter 7, and then my undead base at the bottom of the map got wiped. What felt like too early. And I was like, oh no. And I got really scared. Like, look, we have a lot of great options with this faction, but on a defense mission like this, where it's really long as well, you need to be able to gain a little bit each wave instead of lose everything each wave. And we got to that point once we were able to fall back to the Alliance base, and that's because we have our upgrades at that point. We've got our economy in full swing. So, like, I guess that's kind of how the original works. It's just in the original, you have Tranquility, which makes a massive difference in holding the first base, because you keep your units alive a lot longer. Whereas in this version, without that, holding that bottom base, in my view, is incredibly difficult. You've got a huge air wave that comes in that you need a lot of anti-air for. If you don't expect that, that's pretty much, you know, the end of it. But prior to that is also a big wave, and the enemy hero with Avatar Vengeance is quite difficult as well. So all in all, this feels, to me, harder than the original version, but in a good way. Like, you still have very powerful tools at your disposal. It's just similar to the rest of this campaign. It does a great job, and when I say campaign, I mean all of Warcraft 3 Alternate. It does a great job at twisting your expectations on the original map, such that all that's kind of left of the original is sort of a kernel. But in this case, again, my expectation was like, we got to hold this bottom base a little bit longer, because if we have to fall back too early, then that kind of screws up my long-term prospects of winning the mission. And when I finally just let that go, and I said, you know what, let's just fall back a little earlier than I think we need to regarding the timer, and I just let myself flow through the mission from that point, it worked out. It was close, but it's balanced in a way to be, like, near perfect in that way. I could have been using the rockets more efficiently as well, much earlier. And I think maybe going back now and knowing which waves come in which order might help a little bit as well. And just, like, playing a little more scrappy in that bottom base might work. It's hard to say. I tried towers. I tried different unit compositions. The reality is, like, you just don't have the upgrades to really hold on early enough. And I'm not sure if my wards were getting dispelled, my Witch Doctor wards. It felt like I would put down healing wards throughout the whole map, and sometimes they would just be gone instantly. They have very low HP, so they could get purged. I just don't know what. I'd have to go back and check the footage, but it's possible the enemy just had something where they just were like, oh, summon thing, immediate purge, immediate dispel, whatever. I'm not sure. Or maybe there was no problem and it was just my perception of it. I'm not sure. But I would say, yeah, I really liked this campaign. I liked the unit variants because they all felt good, but not way too good. The Velociraptors, in my opinion, were clearly the best, but they had a definitive downside, which was the pathing of the Velociraptor. But it was still fun to use. Whether the Velociraptor made contact or not, it was fun to use it. I really enjoyed that. But, like, all the stuff was good. I think I used each of the Berserker or Headhunter ones at least once. Some of, like, the Batrider ones, I'm never making those units more than the one time we really have to, because we have to focus down units that have fortified armor. I don't know, did anything have fortified armor in this last mission? Like, in retrospect, now I'm thinking, what were our other choices for those early waves? I'm not sure. And then the other thing, too, is the enemy Shadow faction has those units that they basically take the form of one of your units. And so, like, in some cases, this might have been off camera, but, like, the summoned bear, there were, like, 8 enemy summoned bears because there were 8 enemy units that would, like, you know, shapeshift into the bear. And I'm like, I can't kill all these. Like, they're not killing me, really, but I can't chew my way through that many bears. It was difficult. So, but again, a lot of it just comes down to that expectation shift. I would love to do like a whole retrospective on every one of the campaigns, but like that's just a lot, and they all got their own little retrospective when I was done with them, so you can go back and watch those. But overall, I think this was my favorite one because it really felt like I had a lot of unique tools, and there was a lot of reward for using them, and there was, I don't want to say punishment, but you definitely felt it if you didn't use that stuff. Like, you needed to use your unique talents, and I really appreciated that. But when you did use them, they felt good. And I think that was maybe some of the critique I had about the previous Alliance campaign, is it felt like every unit had some weird ability, but none of them felt particularly great to use, where you're like, why bother? Whereas in this case, you got a very, very powerful buff if you did use them, and a noticeable lack of power if you didn't use them. And I think that's kind of how that kind of stuff should be. I think that's great. Okay, well, hey, thank you, Casayton87. I had a nice time with this one. We look forward to the Frozen Throne alternate, if that's a thing. I don't know. I don't want to make assumptions. I haven't like read through the forums recently or anything. I'm not sure if that's on the docket, but congratulations for making it through the entire Reign of Chaos, Shadows, what have you, base 5 campaigns. That's quite a lot of content, and it was all quite unique and enjoyable to get through. So thank you for that, and thanks everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.